Just a step a bit there. That's it. There you go. That's the one. Thank you. Oh, here you go. Left-hand side forward. Into this one here. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Right-hand side, please. Just eyes all the way to your right. That's it. Lovely. Side, please. Right in the corner. Just there. That's it, please. And just over to your left-hand side. Just right over here.
Thank you.
You can go to house crew next, which is okay.
You might recognize the rest of us. Just bringing them in. Obviously, I was in Doctor Strange.
You can go to house crew next, which is okay. And then we'll work backwards.
Nice. Thank you.
There we go. That's it. Nice. That's nice. Lovely.
And you just want to get the camera moving there, please.
Right. Sorry, sir. And just eyes coming around to your right-hand side.
And just this one.
And all the way to your right. Come in.
Yeah, not that mean.
Definitely straight down.
There you go. There you go. There we go. Right that. Thank you.
And Florence, goes right in the centre.
Thank you.
And just next to him, here we go, just back to your left. Just back over to your left hand side.
I wondered if it was something to do with the flag. Let's go. As soon as they're done, yeah.
There might be another camera coming.
Let's go down here.
Back this way, thank you. And just a couple this side. There we go, good shot. Starting this end, guys, brilliant.
Here, just on here, please. Then straight back to the middle. Good work, guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Whoa. Thank you. Thank you. Start with me again, guys. Here we go. Merci beaucoup. Thank you. There you go. Brilliant. Thank you.
Let's get this.
Glory indeed. Where's Joe?
Now we need the others. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you. Oh yeah. Thank
you. Here we go, so just at the top then. Guys, here we go. Just over here as well, please.
I do love being in places like this. I mean, the energy is very palpable. We've got so many incredible fans here, and I can't wait to share the movie with them all. Really cool. I feel like, you know, we're one of the first films to be out on a press tour in a very long time, and so I feel very privileged to be able to do that. Obviously, you know, everyone is being as careful as they can, taking every precaution, but there really is a sense that, you know, we're back, and you know, we get to enjoy each other's company, we get to smile and just be out here. Well, the journey began I mean, I wish I could say that I had every intention of booking that role, and everything in the universe was working in my favor. But really, I had like maybe 14 followers at the time. I didn't know what I was thinking. I think I just thought, yeah, would I love to win the lottery? Of course I would. And kind of tweeted very facetiously and not seriously, and then forgot about it until 7 months later, somebody dug up the tweet after I had already been announced and was like, did you realize that you tweeted this? And I had no idea. I'd completely forgotten. I think a lesson in manifesting your goals and your dreams into the universe. It's about giving yourself the permission to dream and to go after what you really want. I cried very hysterically, probably. It was honestly like an out-of-body experience getting that call from Kevin Feige. I remember it so clearly. It was 6:30 in the afternoon, early evening, and I just absolutely lost it. I knew how much it meant for not only myself. I mean, it was such a huge break in my career, but I felt like it was such a full circle moment for my family too. We arrived in Canada in the 90s with really literally nothing. Except kind of hopes and dreams of building a life. And for my parents, they worked hard every single day to be able to support me. So this felt like just the ultimate, way to give back to them. This idea that, finally their son they're gonna be okay. He's gonna make it. He's not gonna be starving on the street. It meant a lot to be able to share that. Well, he's this incredibly multidimensional character, right? Because obviously, he's an incredible martial artist, an incredible fighter, but I think at his core, he's somebody who yearns for the love of his family. And something happens in the events of our film, and early on in his life, that really shatters the family dynamic and kind of cuts off his connection to all of the things that gave him life and gave him love. And so he's kind of grown up without that love and has kind of spent the better part of his life running away from the expectations that his father's placed on him in the wake of that tragic event. So I think he's somebody who struggles a lot, who's trying to running away from a lot of the real conversations in life, and I think struggling to accept himself for all of what he is and what he's done, and kind of struggling to move forward in a way. I'm a competitor, so anytime it was safe for me to do a stunt, I wanted to do it. And even when it wasn't, I tried to fight my way in on numerous occasions to varying levels of success. I mean, I knew I had my work cut out for me. It was, to have a martial arts centered movie like this, I mean, it meant that I would have to, set the bar very, very high for myself. And so I trained, day in and day out, hours every day, as if I was a member of the stunt team. So we would go, 5-6 hours every day, 5 times a week, and then I would go and do strength and conditioning for an hour and a half, and it was, all so that, we could, first of all, that my body could endure through all of the action, because we do have a lot, and we filmed over a long period of time, but also just, getting the Marvel body that is so iconic for our heroes. And I knew, as the first one representing a community in that scale, I knew that I couldn't slack off. I think this film is about self-acceptance and self-love, so I think if it's anything, it's that, you have to learn to accept yourself for all of your flaws, for all of your weaknesses, for all of your insecurities. All of those things make up a part of who you are, and as much as we celebrate our strengths, we also need to celebrate our flaws and our vulnerabilities, and I think that's so much of what makes us human and relatable.
I really love London. I've been spending a lot of time here recently, so it's really cool to come back, obviously, and celebrate a movie here. So yeah, love London. I saw Trafalgar Square today for the first time. Right, pretty cool. It feels really special to join a world-renowned franchise like the Marvel, like the MCU. Yeah, I feel that these movies are so important culturally, but then also we're able to tell these really awesome stories. So as a platform to get this kind of story out is really special. So my character Katie is obviously best friends with Shang-Chi, and she I can say is a very loyal, trusting, and good friend, because she does go on this journey with him, and I think at the same time learns a lot about herself and kind of the world at large. So yeah, it's fun playing her. It was a dream cast, really, and Simu was such a special guy to work with. We had so much fun, and yeah, we had a great time in our scenes. We did have a good chemistry in real life, and I think in the film, and yeah, the rest of the cast like legends. You know, Tony Leung is probably one of my favorite actors, and it was really cool to re-team with Michelle. So yeah, I'm really happy to see him again tonight. I think one message the audience should take away is probably just that we're kind of always on a journey of self-discovery. We're always trying to negotiate our past and our present. So, you know, I think there'll be a lot of relatable aspects in the movie. You know, for me, not as much as some of the other guys. I think I really just was driving a bus and stuff. But I really give it up to our amazing stunt team and also our amazing actors that really did a lot of it. So very cool.
Well, actually I have experience with London, because 3 years ago we premiered here also with Creed. And I love London, you know, I'm a big football fan, there's a big tradition here in London. I love to, you know, go around and see all those different stadiums. And I can't wait for the London audience to see it. I feel like they're definitely gonna love that movie. It's always nice for me and a huge opportunity to step on a set with so beautiful and talented people, because you always can improve, you always can learn from them, and they elevate you onto the next level. That's what you want. You always want growth. You always want to improve. And they definitely, the whole cast, the director, everyone in the background definitely made me a better actor, so I could improve my skill set. So I'm very thankful for it. I feel like he's definitely not one-dimensional how you would think. And you know, he's one of the strongest and most loyal soldiers in Venvu's army, and his loyalty lays with him. You know, he took him off the streets. He found him somewhere in Romania, took him off the streets, and he wants to pay him back. You know, because he gave him a life, a purpose. He trained him. So I feel like there's more like a boss-soldier relationship. It's more like a stepdad-son relationship. So that's why Razor Fist doesn't really question, you know, the orders of Venvu, even though he might think that might not be the right decision to do right now. But because of his loyalty and because of he wants to pay him back, he's like I said before, a loyal soldier who follows him no matter where, no matter what. I had no stunt double. Everything I'm doing, everything you see, I did myself. I feel like my athletic background, my boxing background helped, obviously. Because I already knew different fighting styles. You know, I'm not a martial artist, but my stand-up game as a boxer, or as a kickboxer, obviously helped me, you know, to create something, to create a fighting style with Razor Fist. But like I said before, it's a martial arts inspired movie, and martial arts has different varieties of styles when it comes to fighting. That's what I had to learn. We had the best stunt team in the world who taught me things every single day, and especially because I told you earlier about Creed, we wanted to create something different in terms of the fighting style, so I don't look like the Drago character when I'm fighting. And I think we did that, especially because I have that arm, that weapon, which was hard to deal because I'm usually used to use both hands when I'm fighting. This time around the focus was on only the weapon, on only the blade. But I feel like people would like the style and everything that surrounds Razor Fist.
Well, it feels great to be back in London. I'm just really excited for everyone to see this. You know, we've been in LA for a week, and we had an amazing premiere there, and yeah, it's fantastic to be part of this. Yeah. MCU has captured the attention of the public, you know, just you know, for kind of as technology has progressed, and then like now we can like really make these comic books like realised, and you know, I'm a massive comic book fan, and you know, to see it, you know, in my time where, you know, in the 80s they had a wire and someone was just climbing up the building, and you know, now we've just got these fantastic CGI and incredible acting going on. It's a match made in heaven. Where did we find Wong in this film? You know, I can't really say a lot, but it's like, have portal, will travel. That's all I can say. At first, when we see him, he's like this kind of ordinary kind of guy that slowly reveals himself, you know, and we kind of we're peeling away the onion really, and we see who he truly is and what he's kind of ran away from, and what he actually has to face. I collected comics. I collected the Spider-Man comics growing up, and it's a win-win for me just being in the Marvel universe, and I just keep getting surprised myself. I'll get a call off them and they'll say, yeah. Audiences can expect incredible martial arts sequences. It's got real heart. I just think, when given the opportunity in this platform here now, this is where, our culture can shine. And it's a whole new world for Phase 4, yeah.
It's extra special for me to be here in London because half of my family lives here. My wife is British, and so we're here twice a year. So all of my in-laws are going to be here tonight. So I'm very excited to premiere the movie. The experience was very different in a lot of ways. It was about, a few, about $100 million different. The amount of people who are working on set is the size of a village, and it was just a lot of tools that I never had at my disposal before. But at its core, it really felt the same. We really are telling a narrative story that is character-driven, and there's a lot of intimate, emotional moments in this movie that really felt very similar to a lot of the small indies that I was working on previously. So I feel very, even though it was such a grandiose experience, it also felt very much at home. I think audiences can expect to experience a celebration, and there's a lot, I think, in this movie to celebrate, both in celebrating the MCU and up until this point, celebrating a new hero entering the MCU. There's also a lot of cultural elements in this movie that are worth celebrating, and whether you are a part of the Asian American, Asian diaspora community, I do hope that you feel celebrated when you see this movie. And if you are not part of that community, I think you will really learn to love and appreciate a lot of things that we lovingly placed throughout the movie. Simu, when he came in and first gave his first audition, he captured the essence of this character, and it's hard to put into words exactly what that meant, but he was simultaneously strong, masculine, and also showed vulnerability, which were both really important for this character. And he's also really fun and funny, so we're very lucky to have him. I think there's some obvious ways that it differs, but I think at its core, this movie is really an intimate family drama wrapped in a martial arts kung fu movie. Both are things that I really love. They're both styles of movies that I really connect with, and I'm really excited with the way that the two genres intertwine in this film. I worked with an incredible team to bring these action sequences to life, led by the great Brad Allen, who put together really one of the best teams possible to tell this story. And he had choreographers from Hong Kong who trained under Jackie Chan's stunt team. And we brought in choreographers from mainland China. And we had some of the best stunt performers from all over Asia and mainland China, to each specific to their own martial arts skill. And you see a vast array of styles represented in this movie, and our team really took the responsibility of paying proper respect to both the art form and the previous movies that came before us, and I couldn't be happier with the outcome.
It's my first time ever promoting a film in the whole Europe continent and in London. So I'm really, really excited because it's just, been a rough 2 years, and we've been all over the place. We were in Australia, we were in LA, filming this film. It's just so much effort of our entire team, over, hundreds of people, and finally we're bringing the final product here to the audience in London. So I'm super excited. I think the audience can expect that it's a fun movie, foremost. It's just, visually so stunning and so fun to watch. There are a lot of really live action scenes and different styles of martial arts that you will see in this film, and lots of, good old Marvel special effects. But at the same time, it's a very touching story. It's a beautiful story. I hope people leaving the theater will think about their families, think about their loved ones, because it is a story about family. The character I play is called Lee. She is a fierce warrior coming from the village of Talo, but she's also the loved one of Wenwu, and she's the mother of Shang-Chi and Xialing. Shang-Chi is the most exciting addition to the Marvel Universe because he will be the first Asian superhero in the Marvel Universe. And he is funny, he's humorous, he's handsome, and he can kick ass. And he's my son, so yes, he's so special. My first reaction was just sheer surprise because I did not learn about my role. I didn't hear about the casting at all for the longest time, and suddenly when I was on my honeymoon, I got a phone call in Antarctica, and they finally got a hold of me, and they told me that they want to make this offer to me. So I was just so surprised, beyond disbelief, and then I was also really, really excited to join. And I left my husband at honeymoon, and I just left him, and I went to training straight away. Oh gosh, I love this cast. We have, the best cast. I feel like we not only have amazing actors such as Tony Leung, who's a legend in the world cinema, but at the same time, we have people who are just in their first film, like Xialing. She is a Meng'er. She is, it's her first time making a movie, but we all put our heart and soul into the film, and you really can't tell, who's who, because we're just acting and working like a family. And I got to spend a lot of time with the cast because we got an extensive training program, and we spend a lot of time just hanging out, eating dinner, playing board games together. Yeah, we're just best friends now.
It feels amazing to be here tonight. I'm so happy that people are getting the chance to see the movie. We've been working on it for a long time. We couldn't be prouder of it, and getting to show it to the audiences is what it's all about. This film is different from anything we've seen in the MCU because it's playing in a totally different genre. The martial arts genre is so rich and so deep and textured, and sort of getting to play into the aspects of those films that we love so much, that have influenced us so much, made this movie really unique out of the entire Marvel canon. Destin was the right choice to direct this movie because he came in with a really clear emotional hook for what the movie should be. He really keyed into that conflict between father and son that sort of became the emotional heart of the movie. And then also was totally down for all the fun and all the action and everything you want out of a Marvel movie. He wanted all those things and was able to make them sing with great characters and great emotion. What audiences can expect out of Shang-Chi is an awesome, amazing, huge time at the movies. It's fun, it's emotional, it's got some of the best action I think we've ever done as a studio, and it's a totally different flavor of an MCU movie than we've ever done. It really was a collaboration between me and Destin and our stunt team led by the late, great Brad Allen. Brad and his team, Pong, Chris, Jung, Mark, too many people to name, Guillermo. Really, we're just an incredible international team of martial arts superstars and fight specialists who all brought different flavors and all brought different talents to the various scenes and action sequences in the movie. All of those scenes sort of show off a different aspect of martial arts cinema in a way. It's kind of a survey of the genre, and every single person on Brad's team really brought their best to it. So between Destin and Brad and the team, they really were not just able to choreograph great action, but find the character and the emotion behind that action. I think, like with all of our movies, casting was the absolute key to making the movie work. Having people like Awkwafina, like Tony Leung, like the great Michelle Yeoh involved was not just a dream come true for me, but incredible casting for all of those parts. Tony Leung especially is a total legend who is an absolute dream, who lives up to the legend every possible way. And then of course there was a great wide search for Shang-Chi himself, for Simu Liu, and getting to find Simu and really get to know him as an actor and as a person was the thing that brought the movie to life in the end. What kind of superhero is Shang-Chi? I think he brings his own set of talents and his own kind of background. He definitely has not been a superhero his entire life, and it's something that I think he is kind of more of a regular person who fell into the superhero world. You know, he has a background that people learn in the movie. He's trying to move past, and some darkness in himself that he's trying to move past. And I think his journey to kind of understand himself is what will propel him forward through the universe.
What can audiences expect when they see this movie? I think first of all, they will expect to see a Marvel movie, a huge spectacle, a lot of big things. And it starts off as a very ordinary young people who are trying to find themselves or not. They are living their own dream. Their parents would love for them to be engineers or doctors, you know, because they're very talented. But they're happy driving other people's cars. So, you know, you start off going, oh, this is like, it's like a family drama. And that's exactly what it is, except the arguments here are spectacular. The people they have to fight against. And unfortunately, Shang-Chi is running away from his past. And we always say you can't run away from your past because one day it will catch up with you. So it's much better you face it and find a way to resolve, embrace, or move or let it go. And I think that was a journey that started off as his best friend discovering that the boy next door is not just a boy next door. He's like insane. He's like the most incredible fighter. And I think what Destin has done an incredible job here together with Brad Allen, the late Brad Allen, and his stunt team, and William Pope with the DP, the photography, because they are telling the story with depth and emotions, even if with martial arts. So it's raised the bar. And I think that is something that I think the audience will really enjoy. When I first heard about the movie, I was like, yes, I want to be part of it. I want to be part of, I know this is going to be a movie that's going to make such a huge difference. I was part of Crazy Rich Asians 3 years ago, and that was a groundbreaker. That one really was. And this, for me, is the one that cements the fact that we are here to stay. And we should be here to stay, because I think it's very obvious. You love us. Like we love you, right? It's like the culture, they want to know more. And I think here it is like not stuffed in your face, but it is part of your everyday life. We are around you all the time. Although it's a really fun, packed roller coaster film, I think it's never a real movie unless you have real emotions inside. You know, characters that are vulnerable, characters that need to be who they are or find themselves. And I think in this journey, they tell the story of a father and son and daughter. You know, how the daughter was always put aside because she was a girl. She doesn't have to learn martial arts. She doesn't have to do anything. She will be taken care of. And so she had to learn quietly by herself. And then with the boy, it was like your task to take revenge. Your task, because you're going to be the heir of this empire that I have built over centuries, right? But is that what they really want? Or what you want for them? So it's a reconciliation of what is love, parental guidance, care. Because I think Tony said it himself. It was like this father didn't know how to express the love for his kids, especially after he lost his wife. Right? He was so lost in his own grief and anger, you know, that he wanted to destroy everything that tore their love apart. And so it brought them all even further and further apart from each other. And I think where the character that I played, which I loved, was because, you know, it was bringing them all back to the fold and letting them know family is always there for you. They might not always be right in front of you, but as long as you reach out They will never turn you away because that's what family is. And I also like the fact that they touched upon the name. You know how we have Asian names, whether it's Chinese, Korean, or Japanese, and sometimes we give ourselves Christian names, like more Americanized names or English names. That's why I'm called Michelle, instead of using my own Chinese name, right? So it is our identity, and it is something that we should be proud of, because it is part of our heritage and who we are. How did I feel to be part of such a talented cast? I mean, every day I just sit there and watch them. It's like a stage performance. I mean, it's so funny, fabulous, and I'm honestly thinking to myself, thank God I'm not their age. Otherwise, I don't know where I'm going to be. But it is fantastic to see this, and you know, they work hard, and that's what I appreciate about them. It's like they don't take it for granted, and they don't feel entitled, and I think that's very important.